YouTubers. Thanks for watching my video. Today's video is about my first experience with AliExpress. I've never ordered anything from them before, and I always had this feeling that they're kind of like sketchy and scary and I'm going to get ripped off, so I'll let you know how that went with AliExpress. And an unboxing of what I bought, kind of a quickie unboxing video, and then a review of the product itself. What I bought and what I did with it and so on. So this is what I got: an X99 main board, Zeus motherboard bundle with an old Xeon processor. It was $41.04 before taxes, so a little bit more after taxes. And it's an ITX board, kind of a small one, small form factor. And it did come with an in-out shield. No USB 3.0 on the input-output. And it came with a SATA cable for some reason. You can also get just the bare motherboard with no CPU and no RAM. You can get the motherboard and the CPU, which is what I got, also with no RAM. Or you can get the full bundle with a motherboard and a CPU and RAM, like a kit. This is the motherboard specs if you want to pause and read that. This is the memory you get if you get the memory with their bundle. I didn't buy it. I went to eBay and got my own memory. So yeah, it's ECC. I don't think it has to be. So this is how it showed up at my house. Let's get on with the unboxing. No shipping damage that I could see. Not much documentation. This is all that was in the box, just this one printed page. So not a lot of instructions there. If you've never built a computer before, you should probably watch a video or something, because there's not much guidance here, just that one page. So what else is in the box? We get this input-output shield. I/O shield, very uninteresting. And a cheap SATA cable. I don't really need it. I have lots of SATA cables. But anyway, it comes with a SATA cable. So let's get to the main event. Here is the main board itself. And it is in anti-static wrap. And it's got anti-static foam behind it, that pink foam. And it seems to be in good condition. The CPU did come pre-mounted. They mounted the CPU for me, so I didn't have to do it. And as you can see, it's reasonably clean and in good condition. That's a used CPU. I mean, it's probably 10 years old. But it's in very nice condition. Still has legible ink on it and all that. The main board looks brand new. I don't see any damage to it. Very clean. So, so far so good. And there is a close-up of the CPU itself. There's no CMOS battery. You gotta provide your own battery. And you get 4 RAM slots, and you only get 2 PCIe slots, one big one and one little one. There's the input-output. Notice the absence of USB 3.0. It's all 2.0. That is a 1 gigabit Ethernet port. This is the RAM I found on eBay. $30 for 2 sticks of 16 gigabyte ECC. So not a bad deal. Here's the cooler I found for it. The bundle does not come with a cooler. I got this from newegg.com. Really cheap though. I mean, $20. It's kind of a monster though. It's huge. So kind of a ridiculous size cooler to put on a little ITX main board. Yeah, that's a 135 millimeter fan. This thing is a Haas. So make sure it'll fit your case. This thing is enormous. But I mean, for $20, it's a pretty nice looking cooler. And then here I mounted the wings on it, the adapter kit from the cooler box. There is my SDD. I swear to God, I found this in my junk box. I didn't even know I had it. 512 gigabytes SDD. I don't know what I was even using it for. And here's the whole thing put together and stuffed into my case. Notice my video card barely fits in there. I mean, it is actually touching the cooler, but that has not caused a problem. So here we go. I fired it up with MX23.2. I decided that would be my operating system. Looks beautiful, of course. I've been running for about 3.5 hours just to let the thing warm up and stabilize, because I wanted to show you the temperature. So let's have a look at some stuff. I'll do NeoFetch, one of my favorite apps. And here's the specifications if you want to pause and take a look. And there's my 32 gigs of ECC RAM that I got off of eBay. I'm running the AMD RX 570 video card. It's a relic, but I mean, I'm not a gamer, so it's good enough for what I do. Let's try screen fetch, because sometimes it gives a slightly different view of things. So again, you can see I've been running for about 3.5 hours, just kind of idling to let it warm up. And it's a Xeon processor, a 12-core processor. So 12 cores, 24 threads, and there's my RX 570, my big fat dual slot video card. And let's have a look at the temperatures. Not bad for idling 3.5 hours. I'll switch it to Fahrenheit for my American cousins. So I'm hanging out in the 80s with all the different cores. So that's not bad. So, I mean, it should run cool with that enormous cooler. Let's look at the GPU. Again, 90 degrees. So nothing to complain about. And then here is the SSD. 86 Fahrenheit. So temperatures are very well controlled. Now, what I really got this for was to run a, well, hold on, let's look. CPU right now, the only thing I'm running is a video recorder, a screen recorder. So with the screen recorder and MX, it's barely using any of my CPU or my memory. So anyway, what I got this for was to run Windows in a virtual machine. My idea was sometimes I still need Windows for something, and I'm tired of having to dual boot Windows and mess with maintaining it. So I thought I will put Windows in a virtual box. But I didn't want it to be slow and laggy. I wanted a high enough core count and enough RAM to run a virtual Windows at a reasonable speed. And I think I got what I wanted. So this is Windows 10 Pro. It was 21H2 was the ISO I installed, but I let it upgrade to 22H2. And it runs pretty good. I'm perfectly satisfied with it. It doesn't crash and it doesn't act weird, and it's not like slow and laggy. I don't have to deal with lots of latency. So let's push it a little bit. I will open a browser in the virtual machine, and then let's make it do something like play a video. So we'll go to YouTube and find something to watch. So I'm just kind of making this up as I go. I just want to make my CPU work a little bit and see how it holds up. So there we go. 4K tropical fish. That should make it work. Ooh, seahorse. All right, now let's see how my relic, ancient Xeon processor is holding up. We'll open Stacer, and again, I'm running the virtual machine, Windows with a browser, with YouTube, with a video running, and a screen recorder. I'm running a screen recorder right now. Kazam, I think, is the one I'm using. And I'm only sipping the CPU 10%. And not that much of the RAM either. So it's holding up just fine. This is not stressing my system at all. And then here is the CPU performance by thread. All the little different color codes or the different cores, the different threads running. So, I don't know. I just kind of like watching this graphical display. Cool. Looks like a bunch of strings having a fight. But anyway, I'm not having any problems with latency or crashing or instability. So for what I want to do with it, to run, to confine Windows to a virtual box from now on, it's working fine. So I'm satisfied with the outcome. And it was cheap. You know, with everything I bought, the main board and the RAM and the cooler, I've only got about 90 bucks in this project. So good deal. And Windows and the various applications in Windows behave very well inside of this VirtualBox. I haven't had any problems with, crashing or lockups or freezing or anything like that. It's very stable. So now I can have Linux on the metal, and I can just keep Windows locked up in a VirtualBox where it won't bother me. So anyway, that was my experience with my first experience with AliExpress. I thought it turned out well. Um, I thought the item was packed well and arrived in good condition. And for my project, for putting Windows in a VirtualBox and keeping it under lock and key, I thought it turned out great. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.